Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel today. Today's a pretty cool video, a long time coming. Today is the culmination of the Minuteman rifle build. It's done. Phil is hanging on to it for us. It has actually taken us quite a while to put this thing together. Part of the reason for that is the availability of parts. I guess that's the only reason for it, actually. It's been hard to get parts here. It's been hard to get the parts that we want ordered in. It has actually taken over 3 months for us to build just a standard AR-15. You guys can go back and watch kind of the evolution of this video. The whole point of this was to build a kind of a middle of the road AR-15, something that's going to be good for the Minuteman in your life, if you will, with the climate that we are in currently in the US. We thought that it would be good to just kind of do an introductory on a lower to middle end AR-15. That is at least how it started out. We're going to be going over all the parts, all the pieces, show you guys everything that we put onto this rifle. I think we kind of went to the upper end of that mid-level mark, and that is because of the sponsorships that we received during the build process. And really quick before we get started, guys, I want to thank the sponsors that did send us stuff. Odin Works out of southern Idaho sent us quite a few things. Very cool. We appreciate Odin Works. Men2 Mags, also out of Idaho. Very cool that they sent us stuff as well. And then Elftmann Tactical Triggers, guys. Very quality triggers. We're going to be doing another video review on many of these parts specifically, especially that trigger. But I can tell you guys I've gotten a lot of time on this rifle on the range, and I absolutely love the trigger system in this thing. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you would, share the videos, and then you can go back and take a look at basically us putting this thing together, the idea behind it, and then the idea of where we're going next with it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this thing, break it down. I'll show you guys all of the parts, the manufacturers, and then I'll have a list down below of everything that we used on it. So if you guys want to try it out or take a look, links in the description below. All right, guys, so here it is, all done. Everything on it that we want on it. Finally got all the parts sent in. Now, what we wanted to do was kind of use some mid-level to low-end parts, and then use some upgraded stuff here and there. Our trigger system upgraded, our compensator upgraded, nice optics on it. But we started out with a pretty cheap body. We started out with an Anderson Manufacturing lower receiver. That's what we built all of this around. Now, you guys can tell me in the comments if you agree with my line of thinking on this, but my line of thinking was this. There's no need to spend a lot of money on a lower receiver. Now, Anderson Manufacturing, I'm not saying that they're the lowest end, but I think they're probably the most affordable. I think that we paid about 50, 60 bucks for a stripped lower receiver. Are there better manufacturers out there? Maybe, but we didn't need to go top end on the lower receiver, and so that's why we chose Anderson. We did rattle can the receiver to try and match the upper. The upper is from Ghost Firearms. It is a grid defense upper. That's all we got from them. So the upper receiver and the barrel system came from Grid Defense. Pretty affordable. I got a tip from a buddy. He said, hey, try these things out. They're not too expensive. I put a lot of rounds through them and they hold up really well. We didn't want to go top end on the barrel. We wanted something that we could just really beat up and not have to spend too much money on. You guys know that this is an expensive hobby. You can blow money all over the place. So mid to lower end on the upper as well. Okay, so staying right here, guys, in this housing, we got a couple of parts. One of which is our trigger system. Like I told you guys, we got a trigger donated to us by Elftmann Triggers. Very high quality adjustable trigger. It's a drop-in trigger. It's all one piece. Just drop the thing in, adjust it a little bit, and then you put your screws in. Quick, pretty easy installation on that, and then high quality, crisp trigger. Just really, I don't know if you can beat it. We're gonna have to try some other triggers out, but I actually bought another one of their triggers to place in another firearm of ours. Okay, so lower end Hogue grip, just a cheap rubberized Hogue grip. I prefer these. I like the rubberized grip. It kind of grips you back. A lot of people will kind of go with a fancy metal aluminum machined grip. I decided to not go with that because metal grips are cold in the winter time, and if you're not using gloves or you're using thin gloves, I decided rubber was a better idea, so that's what we went with. I didn't need to go with a high-end grip, just a nice, cheap, easy rubber grip from Hogue. Now, of course, Men 2 mags, guys, made in the USA, made in Idaho. Magpul is a very big name in the magazine industry. We decided to support local, contacted Men 2 mags. They were happy to help out and send us a few. We are going to be doing a review video later on them where we're going to just try and beat the crap out of them. I can tell you that I have put a bunch of these into the gun, used them on training days, and they're fantastic. Just a quality product. I've always been a big fan of Magpul. It's what I've always ran. Gave these a try and kind of tipping the scale towards the Men 2s, I'm not gonna lie. I became a big fan of those. As our next internal component here is going to be our safety lever. I went with an above stock safety lever. I didn't spend too much money, but the point that I want to get across to you guys, or the tip, I guess, coming from me, is I set it at a 45. So instead of this thing going 90 degrees, it only goes 45. So if you understand what I'm talking about, you understand what I'm talking about. If you're new to it, look into getting your safety selector switch at a 45 degree angle. I have found, I believe, that it actually allows me to get rounds off quicker. It's just a little bit faster of a process. And I believe that allows me to get shots on target just a little bit quicker. And if we can use little tricks and tips like that to be able to shoot faster, accurately, shots on target quicker, improve our shooting skills, you got to go for it. And something just as little as flipping your selector switch 45 degrees versus 9 degrees, I think is going to make a tiny improvement and is well worth it. So that is my tip to you guys, at least for this video. Go with a 45 degree over a 90 degree. Okay, so up next, guys, internally is going to be our bolt carrier group. Our bolt carrier group, again, sent to us by Odin Works out of Idaho. They sent us not only a bolt carrier group, but they also sent us our buffer tube and spring setup. So inside here, our buffer tube is actually an adjustable buffer tube. You can take it out, add weights to it to really customize your recoil throughout your entire firearm. So we're still messing with that. It's one of the parts that came in late due to the fact that they just sold out of everything, right? The availability of firearm parts, as well as firearms, as well as ammo, has become very scarce lately. And Odin Works was one of those companies that dumped all their product, and we had to wait for some more to get machined and made. So it took a while. So we're still working with the adjustable buffer system. We're still getting it honed just right to get our recoil perfect with this firearm. But so far we're loving the setup. Now moving to the front of the firearms, guys, we'll come back to the optics. We stuck an Odin Works Atlas 5 compensator on this thing. Very impressed with it. I've actually ordered another one. I've let some buddies shoot this on the range and they're picking these up as well. Very low recoil. It helps to minimize the recoil. The adjustability of it is pretty cool. You can actually move this little metal shroud here. I've got it set to where it's tight, but I can actually move it to adjust it. So you can see a little top hole there. I believe they recommend that you put it at about a 1 o'clock. And that is because as you recoil, you tend to recoil up and away. If you're a right-handed shooter, you're recoiling up and away. So if you're setting it at 1 o'clock, you're jumping less this way. So Atlas 5 compensator from Odin Works. They sent us this one as well. Very cool addition to it. Of course, we got an Olight light on the front, guys. You guys know I'm sponsored by Olight, so I've got tons of these floating around. Went with the green again as well. And then a pressure switch to initiate it. Now you can also see, guys, that I've got my Magpul flip-up front sights on there. I don't have the back sight set up any more on here, guys, and it's because we switched out our optics. We were running a Vortex Venom red dot. I've since switched to a Holosun green dot with shake awake technology, and I also added a 3-power magnifier on it. So this magnifier flips away, allowing you to run just your front sight. And then if you need the magnification, flips right back into place. So there is no adjustment lever or anything you have to move. It's just a quick flip, and it provides a little bit of resistance there. So it's not flopping around on you. It's nice and tight, but once you flip it with a little bit of pressure, it comes right back into place. So because of that, guys, we ran out of sight for our rear, or we ran out of room for our rear sight. This takes it up. So I will be pulling off that front sight because there's no real way to add it unless I add it up here. So I think we're just going to go without the iron sight backup. So I will be doing a complete review system of these optics. I have not had a lot of range time with these optics. I have it zeroed in, and that's all I have done with it so far. I have not ran these optics on here. So all the time that I've gotten with the firearm was with the Vortex Venom red dot. I can tell you a little bit about this. This one is a green dot. It's got multiple reticles on it. It has a solar panel system up top. Now that solar panel system helps to charge the battery, keeps your battery running. This specific optic has the shake awake technology, and we will go over this in the review, but I'm gonna just tell you guys about it really quickly. Basically, we've all left our optics on after range days, ran out of battery. We know what that looks like. With this, it shuts off after X amount of time. And the moment you pick up the firearm, it shakes that optic, shakes that reticle awake. So your green dot just pops right back on for you. Rear folding stock, guys, from Fab Defense. I actually like the design of this. It rolls up into place nicely. It has a rubber butt pad in the back. Got a quick detach hold there for my sling. It's not how I'm running it though. I have my sling just strapped here. I do like this setup the way that I have it currently. I do not run a quick detach in the back. I do have a quick detach in the front, and I've got that ran all the way up to the front where I like it. Part of the reason for where I run it is to be able to put my hand all the way up, and then that stops my grip from going up and into where I might shoot my fingertips off. So that's where I have it set up, guys. And to finish off the entire package, I have a Magpul sling. It's an adjustable sling. It allows me to move it up on the fly. And it's something that I've gotten quite a bit of practice with. So I now have this specific sling on many of my other rifles. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about the parts that I used, go ahead and put them in the comments below, and I will try to answer them for you. Again, I will stick the links to all of the parts that I've put in here in the description below. YouTube doesn't like when that happens, so they'll probably demonetize this entire video, if not taking it down, because that's what they've been doing lately to a lot of creators, including myself. They've been going through and washing out a bunch of videos from the past. So hit that thumbs up, guys. That really helps while YouTube allows the video to be posted.